Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It is Sunday morning already, and a coffee kind of morning. If things look and sound a little different, I'm recording off my iPhone. 20 minutes into a video yesterday, and this has happened the last few videos. Message comes up saying you've run out of space. And it's an iPad isn't easy to, unless I restore it, it isn't that easy to find hidden files and things like that. So I've given up. I'm going to change my format on this one, and I'm still waiting for a stand for my iPhone to arrive. Should arrive today. A little different view and stuff like that, and perhaps pick up a mic. But all the mic on this phone is pretty darn good. So anyway, that's what's happening if things look a little different, and just adjusting to make sure everything looks okay. So I want to continue my A to Z with the letter G. Before I get into it, though, please hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you to all that have liked and subscribed so far. I greatly appreciate it. Want to continue to put great content out there to be informative and to show you guys some great bands and artists that I have in my collection. So we'll start off with this great Swedish, they're called heavy metal and gloom rock or gloom metal. I find they're just great rock music and very melodic and very almost pop oriented, even though their lyrics are anti-Christ. I just find they're a great band, and I don't, there's heavier bands out there. I come to mind Opeth and that type of thing, Dream Theater. But these guys are pretty darn good. It's Ghost. This is where I'm going to have issues. I'm used to going up like this and seeing it. Until I can get the proper holder to turn my phone sideways, we're stuck with this. So this is Ghost, originally known as Ghost BC. Ghost BC is their second album, in Festisium. Infest is Human. That's a weird name. 2013 release, but great album, and really enjoy it. It's so good. This one's also on if I recall, beautiful red vinyl, almost a pinkish hue on that red vinyl. It's beautiful, and then the album's great. It really sounds good, and very unique bands, but enjoyable music. But once you start listening to the lyrics, you realize they're going against the grain rather than with the grain. I also have Meliora. This is their third album, 2015 release. This one's on black vinyl, but this is they're known for their costumes on stage, and that's where the doom metal comes in. But again, great band, great band. One of my favorite alternative progressive bands, like a King Crimson, like a Genesis, like a Yes, is Gentle Giant. This is these guys were formed around 1969. They went to about 1980. British progressive rock band. This is the debut album, 1970 release, self-titled Gentle Giant. Similar to the King Crimson in the court of in the Court of the Crimson King. that type of still figure, even though this is a dwarfish type of character, but still good. I got to get used to this. Hopefully that stand will come soon, because I don't like albums in front of my face here. This is Octopus, fourth release, 1972. This is the U.S. cover. The other UK cover had an actual octopus on, even though there isn't an octopus in here. This is up in a pickle jar, but a great one as well. In a Glass House. This is the fifth release. Cover's a little worn, but the vinyl itself sounds great. It's on the WWA label. And Power in the Glory, fantastic album. Power in the Glory is the 1974 release, the sixth album by the band. And we have the seventh album, Freehand. It's on the turquoise Capitol label. Another fine album. And we have Interview, which actually inserts of actual interviews within the album. So Interview. Interview is 8th release, 1976. There's the guys there. Giant for a Day. Ninth release, 1978. And there's actually a cutout here, but I'd never do that. And I'm glad it's still intact. It's on the purple Capitol label. Yeah, cut it out, affixed to your face, and you're a giant for a day. This is one of my favorite albums by them. This is a rockin' album. This is Civilian. So good. It's probably one of their more commercially successful albums, and more accessible album as well. But yeah, it's really good. Really good. Civilian. Then I have Playing the Fool. Gentle Giant live double album. It's on the Capitol label. But yeah, this is a great album. Really good. These guys are amazing. I love them. And then a compilation album. This is Giant Steps. The first 5 years. Again, a double album. Great stuff. Gentle Giant, fantastic band. If you don't know Gentle Giant, check them out for sure. To go from Gentle Giant to some Garbage, not literally, but the band Garbage. Shirley Manson. It's a great album. I can't remember when I got this or even why I got it, but it's a cool album. Only Happy When It Rains, the big hit off of this one, but great band. It's the only one I have of them. I'm still waiting to find this album. This was in another album, this insert. So if I find the album sold out, I've got a true insert for the album. Someone had slipped it into another album. But the Guess Who, what can you say about the Guess Who? Amazing band. Canadian international band from Winnipeg, Manitoba. You've got Randy Bachman. You've got Burton Cummings. Two amazing players in their own right. This is Canned Wheat. Canned Wheat is the fifth album by the band, 1969 release. The hits Laughin' and Undone on that one. It's on the RCA label. Again, I can't get used to this format. I need to turn my phone around. Probably the most commercially successful album by them, and what made them international stars. American Woman. There's the boys there. Of course, with the title track, American Woman. Song's been redone by Lenny Kravitz. Amazing, amazing stuff. You got No Time, American Woman, No Sugar Tonight. Sixth album. One of their best, for sure. Then you've got Share the Land, 1970 release. Song again on the RCA label. Randy Bachman had left the band at this time, went on to form Bachman Turner Overdrive, another great Canadian band, international artists. Short-lived, maybe 8 albums, but still big impact on the Canadian music scene, as well as international stars. You've got Bus Rider, Hand Me Down World, Share the Land, and Hang On to Your Life, the four big singles off that one. So with Randy Bachman gone, they actually hired 2 guitarists in Kirk Winter and Greg Lusky. So they had to replace 2 for 1. That's how good he was, Randy Bachman. Another great one, Flavors. So they got rid of those other 2 guitarists at this point. So Flavors is the 13th album, 1974 release. And then they hired Dominic Triano, great Canadian guitarist in his own right. Formed the first version of Bush, the original version of Bush, not the Gavin MacLeod. I think it is Gavin, is that his name? The British version of Bush. When they came to Canada, they had to change their name to Bush X until Dominic Triano allowed them to just change it to Bush. So the Bush is the first original one. He also played with the James Gang at the time as well, and great guitarist. But this is another fine album. You've got Dancing Fool, the big hit off of that one. Then I have the Best Of, great compilation album. With a broken cover. Look at that. It's on the RCA label. You've got These Eyes, Laughin', Undone, No Time, American Woman, No Sugar Tonight, and New Mother Nature. With that song, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman wrote 2 short songs separately from each other. Turns out that they were in the same tune, and they weren't long enough to make actual record, so they put the 2 songs together, New Mother Nature and No Sugar Tonight, and made a great song out of it, a hit song. Amazing how 2 individuals can write similar tunes in the same notes and make it a great big hit. That's amazing. Hand Me Down World, Bus Rider, one of my favorites. Share the Land, Do You Miss Me Darling, and Hang On to Your Life. Great compilation album. And also The Way They Were, another compilation album. This is unreleased material on here. 1976 release. It's another great album. So many different songs on this one, but great stuff. So that's the Guess Who, one of my favorites. This is a cool find. This is a rockabilly album. Robert Gordon with Link Wray, one of the original guitar masters, I guess, of the 60s. But a cool rockabilly album. It's on the Private Stock label. But cool stuff just the same. Then we go from there to an amazing band in Government Mule. Formed originally as a Something to Do. So it features three amazing players from the Allman Brothers. You've got Warren Haynes, Matt Apts, and Alan Woody. So between sessions, I think they were recording brothers and sisters at the time, and it was taking so long. There was a lot of tension between the bands. So these three guys went out on a lark and formed this band, which actually became a thing, which actually became a huge, huge hit and a huge following. Warren Haynes is an amazing guitarist, amazing vocalist, and they put out like they're a jam band as well. So their live albums are just to die for. But amazing, hugely successful band. This is 1998's Dose. So good. Then you've got By a Thread. This one features the singles Frozen Fear and Broke Down on the Brazos with Billy Gibbons, guest artist on this one. Great album. Then you got the Telstar Sessions 2016 release. There's the boys there. Great southern rock, blues rock. Amazing solos. This is my favorite. This is Millennium. It's a 3-album set. It's New Year's Eve show at the Roxy Theater in Atlanta, Georgia. This is fantastic. 1999 release. So amazing stuff, amazing stuff. The great Lawrence Gowan and his hit album, Strange Animals. Lawrence Gowan, now the lead singer for Kiss. Kiss. What am I saying? Styx. I don't know why I said Kiss. He took the place of Dennis DeYoung. It's got a keyboard that spins, and the guy jumps like 10 feet in the air off the keyboard onto stage and sings his songs. But this is his big hit album, Strange Animal. And second album by Gowan, 1985 release. You've got The Criminal Mind, huge hit. And Styx does a newer version of this one as well. It's pretty darn good. And You're a Strange Animal. So, good stuff. This is a short-lived band. This is GTR. GTR is a supergroup. You've got Steve Hackett on guitar and Steve Howe on guitar. Two amazing guitarists in one album. It's just remarkable stuff. Next, my notes are out of, here we go. Next, an amazing British progressive rock band, King Crimson, yes, Gentle Giant. Then you have Genesis. Genesis formed in 1967. Of course, Peter Gabriel is just remarkable on this one. Phil Collins. Just so many amazing artists in this one. Mike Rutherford was playing bass at the time. Steve Hackett, remarkable guitarist. Tony Banks. I mean, just the best at what they do. So this is Nursery Crimes, the third album, 1971 release. This is all remastered, definite edition remaster. But sounds so good, so good. Then you have Selling England by the Pound. I've still got to get more of their stuff. I don't have all the Genesis stuff. But Selling England by the Pound is the fifth album, 1973 release. Again, another remaster. So they sound amazing. Then you have A Trick of the Tail. Trick of the Tail, 1976 release, 7th album by the band. This is Wind and Withering. One day I'll do a look at Genesis because I think they're worth a look at for sure. Then I have, and then there were 3. So all the other members have left. It's now down to Phil Collins, Tony Banks, and Mike Rutherford. Mike Rutherford took over the guitar parts as well, but another remaster. Then you have 1980s Duke. Great album. Abacab. There's the players there. Sorry for the glare. And this great live album. This is their first live album, Genesis Live. Unfortunately, just a single, 1973 release. It's on the Charisma label. But great, great album. Mr. Rory Gallagher, great Irish blues player, so good. This is Calling Card. Another one that was taken too early in his career, but remarkable album. That's the 1976 release, 6th album by him. British new wave band. This is Jenny Loves Jezebel. Pretty cool album. This is Discover. Yeah, pretty good album for sure. The Grease soundtrack. What can you say about Grease? My kids used to call it Grease Lightning. That's what I think that's what the car's name was. But yeah, double album. John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John. Classic stuff. Classic stuff. Cheesy but good. Part of Genesis, the big part of Genesis was Mr. Peter Gabriel. This is his first album, debut album, so good. 1977 release. This one's got a bad cover on it, but the vinyl itself, it's on the Atco label. It sounds so good. Sounds so good. And then the classic, So, and I have a CD of this somewhere. I can't find it. It's remastered CD. Don't Give Up with Kate Bush. Tears up my heart every time I hear it. That's the 1986 release. This great Dutch hard rock band, Golden Earring. This is Switch, 10th album, 1975 release. Then you've got Mad Love. This is the US cover. This was, in the UK, was called Contraband, but they changed it to Mad Love for the US version. But great album. Then you've got 13th album, Grab It for a Second, 1976 release. And you've got Cut. Cut is 1982 release. Twilight is the, Twilight Zone's the big hit off of this one. 15th studio album by them. What can I say about this band? And I've got to do a more in-depth look at this band for sure. Great American rock band, jam band, cult following. This is 1970s Workman's Dead, the 4th album. Working Man's Dead. Beautiful 3D cover on there. And of course, you got the album, and then you got a double live set on this one as well. This is an amazing album, so good. Yeah, there's the band there. So I'm rushing through these because I'm almost to the end, but I want to continue this one. This is then you've got American Beauty. This is a follow-up to Working Man's Dead. Another fantastic album by them. 1970 release. 5th album by them. I think maybe these two are their best albums, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% familiar with all their work, but I know these are two fine albums. And then this was a live version, two CD set, musical performance of the Grateful Dead. If you can see that there. It's called Grayfolded. I wasn't sure at first, and there's not much write-up on it, but once you start digging into it, it is a live Grateful Dead album, Grayfolded. And then finally, pardon me, one of my favorite bands of all time. One of their albums was my second album ever, and still one of my favorite bands. One of the hardest working bands of the 70s and the loudest bands of the 70s. This is Grand Funk, a trio at the time. This is their debut album, On Time. On Time, 1969 classic. Heartbreaker and Time Machine, big hits off of that one. Then you've got I'm missing the Red Album, their second album. I'm still looking for it. Then you got their third album, Closer to Home, 1970 release. Another classic album. I'm Your Captain, Closer to Home. You've got Don Brewer, Mel Schacher, and Mark Farner. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. An amazing trio. Then you've got the sixth album by the band, 1972 release, Phoenix. Rock and Roll Soul, Flight of the Phoenix. Guest keyboardist at the time, Craig Frost. They wanted to add a keyboardist to free up Mark Farner as he was doing keyboards and guitars. So he was a guest performer at the time. And this is my introduction to the band. This was, we're an American band. This was my second overall album. My first was Machine Head by Deep Purple. But this is just hit after hit after hit. Every song on here I love. Of course, we're an American band, the big classic. Just a remarkable album. As well as this one. This is the second one I got. I'm missing the 3D glasses out of this one. But Craig Frost was a permanent member now as of We're an American Band. Shine On is the eighth album, 1974 release. You got The Locomotion and Shining On. Two big hits off of that one. There's Craig Frost there. I think he's now with Bob Seger Band, if I'm not mistaken. Then you've got All the Girls in the World Beware. All the Girls in the World Beware, 1974 release, ninth album. You got Some Kind of Wonderful and Bad Time to Fall in Love. And finally, Good Singing and Good Playing. 1976 release, the 11th album by the band, and the last with the original lineup, including Craig Frost. This one's produced by Frank Zappa. Basically brought the band together. The band had broken up at the time, so he brought the band together. Zappa plays lead guitar on one of the songs, Out to Get You. It's a great album. Not one of their best, but I think it's still great. And last album to feature Mel Schacher and Craig Frost, as they both left. So there you have it, guys. There's the G's. Hope you put up with the different format and the different sound, but have yourself a wonderful day, guys. Love you all. Thank you so much for your comments and your wonderful support. You guys are amazing. Love you all. Take care. Bye now.